I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate. This is another one of our talk videos. We're going to be going over a couple of different things today. We're going to look at some of the best games that we've played in the 2 months that we've been doing this channel. But we're also going to do something very special at the end of the video. We're going to be giving away something. And so if you'd like a chance to win the prize, please stick around till the end of the video to hear what we have to say on that. But before we get to that, we thought it'd be a really cool idea if we would go over the best game that both of us have played in the last 2 months of doing this channel, as well as what we think is the best game to play with non-gamers in the 2 months that we've been doing this channel. So I'm going to let Sam take it away. Sam, what's the best game you've played in these 2 months?
Well, when we first started our channel, most of the games that we reviewed were games that I had played previously. So I'm going to go with the later games, more ones that I had never played before. And I think out of all of those, Pan Am was actually one of my favorites, which surprised me because it did not look super exciting to me. And the first time I heard the rules, it's a little confusing, but we played it twice. I think actually I've played it 3 times total.
I think so, yeah.
And I really enjoyed this game. I liked the concept of, it was similar to Ticket to Ride, which was one of our much, much earlier games when we first started kind of collecting games. So I understood the concept of it and getting to buy, upgrade your planes. It's quick, it's easy. I won, I think.
Maybe once.
Maybe once, I don't know. I'm gonna say that I won. It was fun, it's a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, it's got that unique element of Pan Am, you know where they're going to expand from. You don't know exactly the direction, but you have a good idea. And so there's this racing to get those routes first and then build your network so that they can buy all it from you. And
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. You're building your empire only to have it bought away from you. So
yeah.
Very interesting game. All right, so the best game that I've played in the 2 months that we've been doing this video, and one of my favorite games of all time, is Everdell. I had not ever played Everdell until we did the review video on that, and I love this game, guys. This is in my top 3 games of all time. It's a beautiful game. It's a rewarding game, and what I mean by that is there are some games out there that you'll play and you may do well, you may not do well, and at the end of it, you're kind of like, well, I don't know how I could get any better. And this is the opposite of that. This is definitely a game that no matter what, if you did terrible in, you'll come out of it and you'll say, you know what? I know where I messed up and I know how I could do better. It teaches you something each time you play it. It's an engine building game. The cards are super important. You know, looking at all the options on the table, it's just a fun, rewarding experience. What do you think of Everdell?
I really enjoyed it as well. And again, I think most of the games Lance brings to the table tend to surprise me just because I don't tend to like board games. So a lot of them I'm very skeptical of. Everdell has a lot of components, and so when you first see it laid out, it's a little overwhelming, but the components are like Lance said, it's a beautiful game. They're really interesting and really different than other games I've played. And when we did play this game, we played it 2 times in a row, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I will definitely agree with him. Like, you play it, you get to the end, and the first time it did take me a little bit to kind of learn it, but by the end of it, I was like, I get it. I need to play again because I understand what I'm doing now. Whereas some other games, I wouldn't necessarily feel that way, the need to play it again immediately. Yeah. That's not something that I would typically say of any game.
So Everdell.
Yes.
Great game.
It's a very good game.
All right, Sam, so what is the best game that you've found to play, being a non-gamer yourself, that you feel would be a very great game to play with non-gamers?
This one also surprised me because when Lance showed it to me, I was not super interested, but Godzilla is a very good game, I think, to play with non-gamers. It has a Godzilla aspect to it, so it's something that people are familiar with. Mm-hmm. Even if you haven't seen the games, or the movies, I'm sorry, people know who Godzilla is. Right. They know the monsters. And so that, kind of brings some comfort into it, I guess. Familiarity. Yeah. And again, it's easy. That's important to me. It's easy. It's fun. It's fairly quick. I like that the different monsters do different things. They work differently. There's a 3D element where you're knocking over buildings. It's fun.
Throwing monsters into buildings,
Yes.
destroying planes and train cars. It's just a cool idea.
And the points and the
hidden scoring element to this game.
I loved
is
that.
really
I really,
cool.
really liked that because the one time that I did win, I was sure I was not going to win,
Yeah.
but I happened to have higher cards.
And I was sure I was going to win.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I did not.
So very good game, I believe, to play with non-gamers.
And I'm not a skirmish fan. I don't like skirmish type games, but this one definitely takes the cake when it comes to that. And I'll play this again. This is a very fun game. All right, so for me, the game that I feel like is best in the 2 months that we've been doing this to play with non-gamers, and a lot of it has to do with theme, just like Sam said with Godzilla, is Back to the Future, Back in Time. And if you guys are keeping track here, this is the third Prospero Hall game that we have on the table here. And so Prospero Hall, they're knocking it out of the park. But this, for me, is the cream of the crop of what they've put out this year so far. Back to the Future, Back in Time is amazing, amazing, amazing. All it takes to explain this game to people who don't play board games, or even if they do, is to simply say, hey, Back to the Future, the first movie, yeah, that's what this is. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sending Marty back to the future. And you basically have explained 75% of the game to them.
Even for somebody, I have seen the movies, but not as often as Lance has. I'm not as into the movies as Lance has, but I've seen them. And that made the game very enjoyable, very easy to learn.
Yeah. There is some luck factor to it because it is rolling dice, but there are ways to mitigate that luck. And I always enjoyed the experience of rolling the dice and you know, we succeeded and it's a great moment, just like when Doc Brown is celebrating in the street at the end of the movie. And then when Biff comes in and you roll Biffs and he just destroys everything, you all hate Biff together and you pound the table and you say, darn you, Biff.
Yeah.
And so it's a fun experience. Try this game out, especially if you are fans of Back to the Future.
And the really good aspect of this one too is it's a cooperative game. And I do feel like that, depending on what type of gamer you are, if you're someone who's, you know, cutthroat, you just want to win, maybe a cooperative game isn't good for you to play with a non-gamer because you will tend to kind of take over. But if you're just trying to get your family and friends to play a game with you, I think a cooperative game is a good place to start because you can kind of hold their hand a little bit and work together versus just kind of leaving them on their own and beating them. You either win together or you lose together. So there's no hurt feelings.
Right. All right, so we told you guys at the beginning of this video that we had something special to announce at the end of it. And what we are doing, because we are so very close to 100 subscribers, which is just crazy to think about that in 2 months' time, we are right at 100 subscribers. We are going to be doing a giveaway as a way to say thank you to you all out there who've jumped on board with us and shown us your love for us. We are going to be giving away a $10 Miniature Market gift card. All you have to do to be able to enter that contest is to comment in the comment section of this video. And what we're asking you to comment, just let us know what are some games that you have found to be good with your non-gamer friends. Games that were easily understood, that you felt like everyone had a good time playing, that worked well with them. And if you're a non-gamer out there, comment and tell us what are some of your favorite games. That's what this channel is all about, building that or bridging that gap between gamers and non-gamers so that more games are being played in all the homes around the world.
And we would love to hear if any of our videos have helped you with your non-gamers, if any of these games that we've showed tonight or the games that we've played previously have been a hit with your non-gamer friends. But we are looking for new games to review. So if you have any ideas and there's anything you want us to see, that would be a great place to, you know, comment and let us know, and maybe you could win the gift card.
Yeah. Also, as we say in all of our videos, If you aren't a subscriber, please go ahead and click subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of new content that we're putting out on a weekly basis, multiple times a week. And we really, really appreciate that. That's really cool that you guys out there are jumping on board. All right, guys, tell your friends, let them know about the contest, and we will announce the winner a week from the day that this video airs on YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. All right, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.